Lake, Georgia. I'm Elise Witt coming to you on another wonderful day of the Daily Antidote of Song. I have some special guests here from my own state of Georgia, and I will introduce them to you very soon. But first, I want to say hello to everyone coming in on the live stream, and I want to say thank you to Carpe Diem Arts for bringing us all together. Um, who's telling me what day it is? I will find out as we go. But first of all, let me just say hello to Erin. She's coming to us. You can see she's in the costume room. She's at work in NYC. Hello, Joe in New Hampshire. Hello, Arlene in Berkeley, Kevin in DC, and Colleen on your iPad. Hello, Elizabeth in California, Mabel and the Bears. Hello, Athena in Brooklyn. Hello, Susan G in Cincinnati. Aloysius in Massachusetts. Gally in MD, Maryland. Kathy in Colorado, cricket dancing in Maryland, and Sheila in North Florida. Hello, Ruth in Birmingham, UK. That's not Alabama. Hello, Trish in Victoria. Linda and Mark in Victoria as well. Sarah in Texas and Nancy with her Irish cow. And Sue in Seattle. Rob and Bob in Albany. Let me change pages. Where am I? Hello, Kathleen in Albuquerque. Linda rocking on Orcas Island. Hello, Kate in NYC. Anne in Silver Spring. Elizabeth and LMG in Connecticut. Hello, Linda in Northern Massachusetts. Marjorie in New Hampshire and Sandy E in Western NC. Gail, Kat in Vermont. Hoda in BC. Phil somewhere in the UK, Annette in California, Kay in Texas, Bob in Massachusetts, Gary and Massachusetts, Fred in Silver Spring, Jamie in Vancouver. If I didn't get you on the way in, I will surely thank you on the way out. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here with you and to see all of you on this beautiful day. It is a rainy day here in Georgia. I think somebody wrote a song about that. I am very excited to introduce you to some new friends here at the Daily Antidote of Song. They're coming to us from Athens, Georgia. They are Charlie and Nancy Hartness. Together, they form a band called Hawkproof Rooster, and we'll find out more about that. But let's welcome them and sing along with Charlie and Nancy. Welcome, y'all. It's so good to have you.
Oh, it is a pleasure. It is pouring rain here in the Athens of Georgia. And we live in the PulaSkeeville neighborhood of the Athens of Georgia, which is important because during the week between Christmas and New Year's, I was in need of a shower early one morning. So I got the coffee started. I stripped down, got ready to jump into the shower. And then I thought, I want to take a shower, but I want an apple too. And the apples were in a basket on the back porch. So I thought, it's early. I'll grab an apple. So I was marching around in the kitchen with my little apple. And I took my shower and this song came to me. So I didn't sit down and pretend to write it. I stood in the shower and cleaned myself up. And I wrote this song called I Got Me an Apple. And for us, the most fun part of it is the chorus.
Right.
So we'll go over the chorus with you, and then we'll sing the whole song, and you can sing any or all of it with us. But the chorus will dig into your brain like a brain worm. Okay, so beware. The chorus goes like this: if you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town. So that would be if you want to make time.
Wait, let's do it in the right key.
Yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, if you want to make time. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you've got, like a handful of string that's full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. But here's the whole song for you.
Well, okay, let's sing the chorus one.
Okay, so here's the chorus. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got, like a handful of string that's full of knots, just sitting on your front porch looking at the street. And here's the whole thing for you. I got me an apple. Best of luck, baby.
And best of luck to you.
Little F chord. I got me an apple. It's bright and shiny. I got me an apple. It's juicy and sweet. Gonna take my apple out on my front porch. Listen to the birds sing and look at the street. Gonna take my apple out on my front porch. Gonna listen to the birds sing, so juicy and sweet. I'm sitting in the sunshine on my front porch. Listen to the birds sing and looking at the street. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got. Like a handful of strings full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. Oh, yonder comes Otto with his big brother Ernie. They're laughing and joking with everybody they meet. They're on a big journey with a core discovery. They're skipping and flying down Pulaski Street. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got. Like a handful of strings full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. I got me an apple on my front porch. Gonna listen to the birds sing, so juicy and sweet. I'm sitting in the sunshine with my apple. Listen to the birds sing and looking at the street. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got. Like a handful of strings full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. Just sitting on that front porch looking at the street.
I love that. You see all the smiles? Yes. On the surface, that song is kind of a fun, silly little song about apples and rocking on the front porch. But I think for me, it really brings up more. It brings up that idea. I know that where you all live is such a tight community, and really knowing your neighbors and being involved with your neighborhood and your community. Can you talk a little bit about PulaSkeeville, part of Athens, Georgia?
How about it, baby?
Well, okay, I'm from Seattle. Charlie's originally from Macon, but we met out in the Pacific Northwest where he was working in Portland. I was working in the Seattle area. And I didn't really understand the way that in the South, sometimes people, like, they just wave at each other. I thought that was like kind of a caricature-y joke, but it's really true. I have to be careful when we go back to the West Coast to not just wave at strangers when I'm walking down the street. It frightens people, that level of friendliness. But our street itself is named Pulaski, Pulaski. But several years ago, we were given some great big kind of old neon sign letters from our former next door neighbor, and he didn't have an I, but he had two E's. So on our front porch, it spells the word Pulaski, Pulas with a big S, Kee. And then Charlie just started calling it PulaSkeeville. So that's sort of, PulaSkeeville is maybe a location, but it could also be a state of mind.
And it's a little mill neighborhood, just 4 or 5 blocks north of the old downtown of Athens, Georgia, which is adjacent to the old North Campus of the University of Georgia. And so right across the street from us are the old red brick buildings that contained a cottonseed pressing mill that operated in the early till mid 1900s. And they took, after the cottonseed came from the cotton gins, because they grew a lot of cotton around here, they would press the oil out of the seeds and they would use it for machine oil. And they also made vegetable shortening out of it. And it was called snowdrift shortening that was made. It was one of the places they produced that.
That's
so
amazing.
Anyway, but everybody knows everybody. So you can sit on our porch and you can yell out down at people when they're walking by, or they'll yell up at you. It's just everybody knows everybody. It's hard to walk anywhere in this neighborhood because you will get stopped repeatedly by people who come out of their house.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Do you need, we have too many apples. Would you like one?
You want some biscuits. You want some whatever, cornbread.
So when Mick and I visited you all just a couple weeks ago, you actually did take us to that mill and talk a little bit about what happened to it after it shut down as a mill, because it's really interesting.
Yeah. So we have a friend who's a really brilliant engineer, an eccentric engineer, but very, very smart. And many years ago, 35 years ago, maybe, he purchased that entire tract of property with all of the buildings. They go all the way from the railroad track up to the beginnings of the old houses on that side of the street. And he put a high-end machine shop down in one of the old buildings. As he said, I only get German machinery for my machine shop. But he had all of these things down there. He built a tiny apartment in the old brick building. The roof of the building, the old metal building, is so low on one end that the coyotes will climb up on top of the roof on sunny days and lie around, sunbathing, telling jokes, smoking coyote cigarettes, the usual stuff coyotes do. And they, of course, they sing at night. But that fellow, he sold that property, and we keep being told it's going to be developed into a restaurant and some commercial property and some condominiums. But we've been told that for 15 years and nothing has happened to it. But we took Mick and Elise on what we call the PulaSkeeville Urban Core of Discovery, and we explored the building. It's just
we had to sneak onto the property, but that's part of the fun.
Yes, if any of you find yourselves in Athens, Georgia, you should definitely get in touch with Charlie and Nancy and take a hike, an urban hike around the neighborhood, because it's beautiful. Athens is the home of the University of Georgia, and so it's a university town, but it's also a mill town, and it's an incredible place. So you all are in Athens, Georgia, but you do a lot of traveling with your music. You are well known and well loved at music camps. Can you talk a little bit about some of the music camps that you go to? Because I think we have some music camp folks here in the Daily Antidote.
Well, I guess it kind of would start at the Festival of American Fiddle Tunes, which is where Charlie and I met in 1996. We have been back there as participants, but we've also been back there as helpers. We traveled with an elderly fiddle player here in town. He's passed on since then, but his name was Earl Murphy. And that was a wild week because Earl really liked his alcohol, and he could drink anyone under the table, and he wanted to stay up all night jamming. So one of our jobs was to sort of keep him from falling down the stairs in the old dormitory or whatever building we were in, stuff like that. But that's, so Fiddle Tunes, as we shorten the name to, is a camp festival experience that we've been involved in. But we have been involved with the Alabama Folk School, which is in Nauvoo, Alabama, which is about an hour west of and north of Birmingham. Is that right?
Yep.
For many, many years. And they are not as big as, say, John C. Campbell Folk School. They don't have many offerings every day, every week of the year, but they do have dedicated music tracks. In April, usually there's a bluegrass based music track, and the G's Bend quilters come, and other artisans also, and teach classes. And then in October, there's the old time music track. And again, the G's Bend quilters will be there, and they are so amazing. We've taken the sewing class 2 or 3 times, even though we don't really know how to sew, but they're so welcoming and so generous. That's a good thing.
I have to tell you that we have some amazing quilters here. If you see Susan G there in Cincinnati, and several people who are incredible quilters. I have a small quilt back here that she made for a project that we did, an art project, and she also made a beautiful quilt for day 100. I think, is that right, Susan? I'm not sure if you can unmute. Sorry. Oh,
day 1000.
Day 1000. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
Day 1000. Because look at
wow.
that.
Oh, great.
Wow.
There's that. But you also, I think Joe has an incredible quilt also that you made. She's an incredible quilter. Let me just say, there's many quilts that have been, made for the Daily Antidote. And one of the art projects that I did where people sent in art to go with a film, Susan and some other people, actually a couple of people, Sally Rogers also made a quilt that was part of that project. So the Daily Antidote is, it's a beautiful daily singing together, but it's a lot more. As you know, we at the moment are really focusing in and leaning into anti-racism work and talking with musicians and artists that are deeply involved with that and getting all of us involved in those conversations. So this platform, which has been going for, has anybody told me what the day number is? I don't know. It's 1,390 something. Is that right? Does anybody know? Where's Caroline? Is that 1391? Perfect. Okay. Anyway, that many days, every single day since March of 2020, April 20 March. Anyway, 1,390. Thank you. Thank you, Athena. Yes. Anyway, every single day, a song that brings us all together, that lifts us up. And as you said, Charlie, will probably stick with us the rest of the day and be one of those wonderful earworms that you find in your apple. Yeah. So
I was going, oh, go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, I was just going to add, if people find themselves in Athens and they want to contact us, and if it's too humid and hot to do exploring, we have lots of string that has knots in it. We could just sit on the front porch and chat and drink a cool iced tea. And
I actually, since childhood, I love unknotting string that people have claimed to be impossible to unknot. There's something so satisfying about it.
Oh, I'm seeing some big nods from people here. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to let folks know about? Do you have recordings? Do you have some albums that people can?
We have one album that's our album that we actually made in Elise and Mick's kitchen. And poor Elise, she would come home from swimming or come home from school or whatever, and we'd have the whole kitchen just completely taken over with microphone stands, and she'd have to kind of like crawl through everything to get to the refrigerator to get an apple or something to eat for lunch, and then she'd have to crawl back out. But anyway, you can hear our CD on YouTube.
And
Spotify. It's called Got a Little Home, but it's hawk-proof Rooster. If you put that in, you'll either end up with videos of cockfighting or you'll or our albums.
So yes, they're always Erin is always great at putting links and things in the chat. So let's sing the song again. Are y'all ready?
Okie dokie. Best of luck, everyone.
Yeah, best of luck.
And it's been really fun having you in our little music emporium here.
It's such an honor to be with all of you today, too.
All right, baby. How about a little F chord? I got me an apple, it's bright and shiny. I got me an apple, it's juicy and sweet. Gonna take my apple out on my front porch, listen to the birds sing and look at that street. Gonna take my apple out on my front porch, gonna listen to the birds sing, so juicy and sweet. I'm sitting in the sunshine on my front porch, listen to the birds sing and looking at the street. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got. Like a handful of strings full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. Oh, yonder comes Otto with his big brother Ernie. They're laughing and joking with everybody they meet. They're on a big journey with the core discovery. They're skipping and flying down Velasquez Street. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got. Like a handful of strings full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. Gonna take my apple out on my front porch, gonna listen to the birds sing, so juicy and sweet. I'm sitting in the sunshine on my front porch, listen to the birds sing and looking at the street. If you want to make time slow down in this busy little beehive town, just sit on your porch and start messing around with whatever you got. Like a handful of strings full of knots, just sitting on that front porch looking at the street. Just sitting on that front porch looking at the street.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go get me an apple right after this. Thank you, Charlie and Nancy, coming in from PulaSkeeville neighborhood in Athens, Georgia. And thank you to Carpe Diem Arts for bringing us once again all together here on the Daily Antidote of Song. Oh, what a fun way to start the day. Thank you so much, or whatever part of the day it is, depending on where you are. I want to say thank you to Charlie and Nancy. They made us rock out to their beautiful beat. Now I gotta say bye-bye to all of y'all gathered here, and let me get started. Let me start with Arlene. Thank you, Arlene, in Berkeley, California, and Kevin in DC. Thank you, Colleen, on your iPad, Trish in Victoria, Mabel and the Bears, and Bob in Massachusetts, and Athena. Thank you for keeping me on track with day 1,390 days of the Daily Antidote of Song. Thank you, Susan G. in Cincinnati, and Dally in Maryland. Thank you, Hoda in BC, and Ruth in Birmingham, UK. Thank you, Kathy in Colorado, and Sheila in Florida, and Cricket Dancing in Maryland. Thank you, Phil, Pauline, and William, and all you folks in the UK. Maybe I'll see you this fall. We'll talk. How about Luda and Victoria, Mark in Victoria, and Kathleen in Albuquerque. Thank you, Bob in Albany, Linda rocking on Orcas Island. Thank you, Kaya and Kate in New York City. Thank you, Joe, for bringing us together once again. Thank you, Storm in Massachusetts. Thank you, Linda in Concord, Massachusetts, and Elizabeth in California. Where am I? Oh my goodness. I can't find you. Thank you to Linda in Massachusetts, LMG in Connecticut, and Ed in California. Anna, so good to see you. Susan on your iPad, Loriana, Kachina, Courtney in Vermont, Bob in Warm, Massachusetts, wow, Kat in Vermont, Elizabeth in Massachusetts, and Joe in the UK. Aaron, thank you for keeping us looking and sounding good. Aloysius and Nancy in Washington, and Juana La Tejana. Sarah in Texas, Fred in Silver Spring. I'm going backwards now to make sure I didn't skip anyone. Jamie in Victoria, Ann in Silver Spring, Elizabeth in California. I think I made it all the way through. Thank you, everyone, and especially to Charlie and Nancy from Georgia, Athens. Thanks, everyone, from the Daily Antidote of Song. Have a beautiful day, everyone. See you